rid of that.
You're a good team, bro. But we need this.
Let's go, guys. Well done, everyone, guys. I like it.
Taraves!
Get up.
Well done, man. Looking at your faces, you can see that you're disappointed. It's hard to take those games. You've thrown everything at them, you've pushed and you've pushed and you've pushed. But sometimes these things happen for a reason. And the last few games, you've been conceding stupid goals and they're gonna bite you in the arse at some stage. So it's not just me who has the responsibility to make sure every single one of you, regardless of selection, is up for the game. And I don't want to be looking at people's body language and they're sulking and they're this. Tell me now, was your body language the same at kickoff as it was in the last 5 minutes? Because it wasn't for everybody. 5 minutes to go, there's an almighty rush and an almighty desire and determination to get something out of the game. You're going nuts because the referee's not giving you decisions. You're going nuts because things aren't going your way. That's the test that I'm giving you. That's what I've been looking at for the last 2 weeks. And I probably had it all but one today. Everybody was on it, but you conceded a stupid goal. But no matter how long the game had gone on, none of you look like scoring. When we're practicing, in training, or in the warm-up, it is like the last 5 minutes. That's the determination I want to see, and that's the effort I want. Because that's what's going to get you over the line, that's going to win you games. So there's no point you sitting here with your head down and sulking and whinging and moaning. You fucking put your hand out and shake their hand. Because they fucking played you. They fucking cheated. They knew they didn't deserve nothing. So what did they go and do? All the gamesmanship in the world. Let's stay down. Let's kick balls off. Let's do whatever we needed to do. The last 2 games have had the same thing happen to you. Why? Are you walking into games thinking that you deserve to just beat anybody? Do you think you can keep coming back from stupid mistakes? Penalty, fucking kicking it at the back of someone and spilling the ball. This is why I've been saying to you at the start of the season, you must take the lead. You must take the lead. Because when you are under pressure, this is when I start to see who's the man on this football pitch. And today, all of you wanted the ball. But you shouldn't have to go 1-0 down for that to happen. You didn't get onto each other's backs second half. You didn't start arguing. You played and you went right to 95 minutes. There's no other way of getting back into the game. You can't negotiate with the referee. You can't negotiate with the linesman. You can't negotiate with any of their players and tell them to get up and tell them to stop cheating. Why the hell are they going to help you? Everybody is brilliant when you're winning games, 12 unbeaten. There is nothing wrong with you guys as players. But it's how you're approaching the game. That was very dominant in terms of your football, in terms of your set pieces, in terms of throwing the kitchen sink out. Same again at Wormley. Took your second half to get your game going. There's not a lot wrong with that. But you've got to look at where the mistakes are happening. Not scoring, conceding. The only ones that walked away with a sort of bit of dignity is the defence. But now I'm putting that pressure on you guys to make sure that you guys take it very serious next week if you concede another goal. And I'm talking, you lot better be on the phone to each other, making sure they're ready. Are you fucking doing the right things? Are you fucking slapping yourself around the face? Have you had a row with your missus this morning? Because I want you angry when you turn up. I want you ready. I want to play next to you and know that you are going to go and elbow someone in the face and go and win that ball and go and clean someone out. And you forwards better be going, right, which one of us are going to turn up 5 minutes early and do a bit of shooting, a bit heady? Just like make sure, you know, that we're ready for Saturday. Which one's going to do that? Because I'm going to be looking and I'm going to be watching. Which one of you guys is going to make a difference in the next game? That's what I want you to think about. But this is the response I want to see from now on to the end of the season. You do not give up until the 95th minute. And you go hell for leather, if you are losing, to try and get the goal back. I want to be sitting there watching you lot put in pressure after pressure after pressure and mounting an attacks, wave after wave after wave on the opposition. I don't want to be going, get the ball into this person, get the ball into that person. I don't want to be arguing with people. You should naturally assume that is why certain people are on the field. When you've got 3 or 4 people in the box, you get it into your wide players, and you was getting it into Nosy, you was getting it into Didi, and you let them go and take people on and get crosses. Sometimes I think Taraves was trying to just go past 2 or 3 and get the crossing himself, but you understand and the ball has to go wide and you deliver. So that is how you're going to get back into these games if the same thing happens next week, and then you will become even stronger. But we need to get that resilience back and make sure that we can go again next week, okay? Well done.
I'm with Cliff Akirang, just after the game with Loppes Taraves. Cliff, if we'd played till midnight, do you think we would have actually scored?
Not by the way we were finishing. It sort of started in the warm-up. The finishing wasn't quite where I wanted it to be. And I've told the boys at the end, we've got to do better. We've got to start faster, and we've got to take our chances when we get them. Otherwise, at 1-0 down, it's or whenever you're behind in a game, it's always a different kind of game because it's high pressure situation. Yeah. And some people deal with it better than others.
Yeah.
If it was 0-0 or 1-0, I think, as you've seen against Fire, everybody can score.
Yeah.
But at 1-0 down, it takes a certain character and a strong individual to, it gives the other team something to hold on to. Yeah. So they're gonna, the keeper's gonna play that extra bit better. Whereas against Fire, the keeper give up half the time because he's so used to getting beaten. But they've got 1-0, and the defenders have got something to hold on to. The strikers, the goalkeeper's, got a reason to put his body on the line, and he did. And our players need to understand that even more so. That's when you've got to start hitting the target and taking that extra bit of care.
Did the lack of invention disappoint you? Because it seemed like their keeper was doing wonderfully when you were crossing it in, claiming the ball, but I struggled to think of any point where he actually had to make a save where he was actually extended.
Move them about and open them up, and that's where it's quite difficult, especially in our league and our level, because you get a back four that don't move.
Yeah.
The only way around them is round the back or around the outside.
But even with set pieces, I know you and I talked before the game about where they might be susceptible. It seemed like your guys were all going, when the ball was coming in, they seemed to have this weird thought that 5 of them could go for the same ball. Whereas if 1 or 2 of them had dropped out a little bit to the edge of the area, they could have gone for the second ball.
Well, this is the problem. We've got such a young team. All it takes is a bit of communication, and it doesn't seem like anyone said anything to anyone. I'm going to go here, I'm going to go here, and we work on this each week. They know their positions, where they're supposed to attack the ball, where they're supposed to run, and then it comes to the game and it goes out of their head. Yeah. So it's something that we're going to have to go back to the drawing board until we can start utilising the fact that we've got 5 or 6 players over 6'3".
I mean, but is it getting to the stage where you're literally going to have to say to like 2 of them, you're going, when the ball comes in, you 2 can challenge for it. 2 of you are going to have to drop off. So
we're already at that stage already. We know.
But it goes out the window.
Yeah, it just goes out the window. So we're at that stage where we're going to have to make changes, and new players are going to be coming in very soon.
I mean, I'm going to have to go with one more negative with you at this point. Walker for the goal. What's your views on that?
Again, I don't tend to claim to know, what the keepers are supposed to go through or understand. I'm not one of those managers who dig out the goalkeeper, because I've played in goal myself when I was really young, and the game is different. It's almost like
well, yeah, they make a mistake, they've had it.
Exactly. It's almost like that cricket analogy. They're in that crease and they're batting things away. They're on 99 runs, close to getting that century, and then that one where they get wickets taken is all everyone remembers. They don't remember the other good things that goes on in the game, and so I sort of try and keep a level head, but clearly at fault for the goal. But I think at the end, when Josh Dalzell made a mistake, one-on-one situation.
Oh yes,
he recovered and showed what he can actually do. So, again, it's preparation. We just got to make sure that. I said to him after the game, we start like our last 5 minutes.
Yes. Oh, absolutely, because that's the Coggeshall you expect. That last 5 minutes is what you expect. Let's talk briefly about the positives. What positives can you take from that game?
I genuinely thought, after the goal went in, we and even before the goal went on, we controlled the game really well, and we knocked it about quite well. Under the circumstances of being behind, it's sometimes you could panic and you could go into lumping it long and just sort of not having any identity and idea of what you want to do, and your game just goes a little bit, and you've got to try and pick players up. But I thought the boys kept a level head, and I said to him, it wasn't until the 44th minute that I started to see the frustration in us. And second half, it was a case of going out there and just tidying up a little bit and improving, and other players who needed to be in the game a bit more to come into the game a bit more, and hopefully after 60-70 minutes, and they start to get tired and make more mistakes, chances will start to come. But they're obviously one of the fitter teams, and they actually got stronger as the game got later on. Yeah. And they got clever, and it stopped the game and started it, and you've got to give credit to them, because they played like they really needed those points.
Oh, absolutely, for the position they were in at the start of the game, absolutely. So, difficult question. Where would you say the fault lies for this defeat? Is it more on yourself for not making sure that they were drilled properly, or is it the players for not following the game plan?
Probably a bit of both. I'm sort of guilty of seeing this develop in a couple of weeks in advance and going to give the players the trust that, as a manager, you've got to have trust in these people. But when you can see it sort of formulating weeks in advance, that's my opportunity to say, right, I'm not sure about certain players and where they're at, and probably I'll make those decisions for the next game.
Fantastic. Well, thank you very much, Cliff, for being so honest about your assessment of the game, and hopefully things will soon turn around.
Yeah.
Thank you very much as always for your time.
Thank you.